Well, I say every day it's a getting closer to taking a bath with my fucking toaster.
We're not qualified.
Who are you?
Explorers in the further regions of experience.
Did you not listen?
Then the hell with you.
Hey, Sam.
Greetings. Yes.
What is the Hogwarts spell for abortion?
How the fuck should I know?
Fetus deletus.
Okay. With that said, greetings, salutations, and welcome to the 111st episode of Screaming Into the Void, the show where we talk about whatever the hell we feel like. My name is Samuel the Infamous. I have a panel today, which is pretty special. Also, I would like to mention that if you are used to watching this on Twix and you can't find this on Twix, it's because it's not currently on Twix, because one of the fun things about changing your fucking avatar when you have a blue check is that they take the blue check away until they verify the new avatar. So I can't stream to Twix today. Whatever. But we are on Rumble, on my channel and on Caucasian Sasquatch's channel. So welcome in. Joining us today, we have green-haired anti-liberal. She's testy. There was some cat stuff earlier. Anyway,
I was
There was some
muted
pie.
again.
Yeah. We also have Caucasian Sasquatch.
Howdy. How you doing? What's going on? Shake it.
Yeah. Spazzing out with his camera down there, we have Shadow of Hawk.
Sorry, the lighting is going from either good to shit. I'm switching some stuff around.
You're such a prima donna. And we also have returning to the show, Kenzo. How you doing, buddy?
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Poppy.
It's good to be back, y'all.
Yeah. So we have a number of things to talk about today, but like the I guess the big thing, like obviously the debate happened this week. There's some stuff we could probably go over there. Particularly, there's that one video, Gal, that you shared the other day in the chat. I do want to play that at some point.
Which one did I share?
The one where we're not in any active war zones right now. That one.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and also Springfield, Ohio. We'll be, as the Haitians say, digging in.
Digging in. I like it.
So, and whatever else comes up as per usual on the show here. So, but
pretty crazy.
Right.
Oh, what is
But
that PFP?
But before we get into that, I'm going to say hello to the chat. He's not. It's not showing up here on StreamYard for some reason. But I did notice that right after Beelzebub last night, when we got onto, I got this whole thing set up right towards the end of that show, and Beak jumped from that chat immediately over to this chat at 4:30 in the fucking morning. So he was technically first, but
Sorry.
yeah, no worries. We also have Dom H with us, who's saying first again, and I mean it looks like first right here, but I do have to give Beak credit. He was here at 4 in the fucking morning.
It's interesting that it's over there.
Yeah.
Out overnight, maybe? Well, no.
It's if you do it, if you get into a live chat so many hours before it actually goes live, it will actually delete old comments. I think like up to like 3 hours ahead of time.
Gotcha.
Kind of thing. So we have Andy Pickle on Caucasian Sasquatch's channel, on my channel, on Rumble. Good to see you, buddy. Because it annoys Adam, Caucasian Sasquatch is in the chat. We also have American 101 joining us. Green-haired anti-liberal who's on the panel with us.
Hey,
Clifton 3D. Hey, Clifton. Good to see you, man. Scrolling down. Shadow of Hawk, who is also on the panel with us. Officially Forest of Monsters.
Hey Rick,
I don't
how
know,
you doing?
something about that name grammatically just bothers me, but welcome in.
That's not all that would bother you, bro. Homie hunts Sasquatch. He literally hunts Sasquatch. I'm not exaggerating.
Oh, no, I believe you. So we also have Freeside. Let's see. Scrolling down. I think. Oh nope. We have Carrie's with us today. Welcome in, man.
What's up, bud?
Yeah, been a minute
Greatest
since
member of
you
your
in the chat.
rogues gallery, Sam. The greatest member of your rogues gallery.
Yeah. I've known Carrie longer than almost everybody else I've met through the internet. Almost.
That says something more about you than it does about me, but that's also true for me. I've known Carrie longer than just about anyone else on there.
Yeah. No, he was actually, I think, it was the second or third episode of this show he was the guest on. And he'd been on a few since then, but, then we found out that he hates fucking doing panel streams, so he stopped coming. We also have Tommy coming in.
Every now and then he emails me about starting up some panels that I'm like, dude, but you hate it. He's like, oh, yeah, right. And then he don't bother me again for like another 2 months.
Right. We got Snark and Sass with us. Hello.
Snarky.
I'm going to take a shot at this one. Lakira 55 Barb.
Hi.
Good to see you. So, and so we got people coming in. If I have not called out your name or brought up a chat, I will do my best to at least bring up one of your chats onto the screen so that you do know that we do see you. Welcome in and hope you enjoy the show. So, who's got a good recipe for feline?
I know if you Haitians can help you. I can get you pretty close to where they reside, at least right. Ohio has caught short shrift over the past few years.
Hey, thanks, Tommy.
Remember the Ohio meme?
That
all right,
shitty and crazy.
There's other things about Ohio that lead into this meme, but it began with like the pig farms being burned either right before or right after COVID, the whole lockdown situation. Then you had a bunch of chicken farms that got burned out there for some strange and unusual reason right after the pig farms did. So some issues came up on transiting farm goods for some weird reason. And then the train had the derailment that happened over there. And there were actually 2 derailments, one of which was really, really big national news. And the other one probably should have been bigger news, but the first one had already kind of overshadowed it.
It was swept under the rug quite a bit, actually, if I remember right.
Yeah. The second one was it was like hydrazine or some crap. It was something that was actually seriously dangerous. And the thing about that vinyl stuff, if they just went out there with machines and picked it up and walked away with it, it wouldn't have been a major catastrophe. What created the major catastrophe is the fact that they let it burn. They made no attempt to put it out.
To answer Clifton's question here, why do the Dems hate Ohio? So for the longest time, that's since changed. Now it's like, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Florida, Arizona, and whatnot. But the one state that a presidential candidate had to win in order to win the White House was Ohio for decades. And I suspect this has something to do with that. All of the shit that's happened in Ohio over the last call it 10 years or more, I suspect absolutely has to do with fucking with the caucus there. So yeah, it's political. It's always political.
I mean, the culture there is just kind of hard too. Like, if they somebody a thug from Ohio, they're real thuggy. If you got a redneck from Ohio, they got a hook on their hat and their wallet's on a chain.
Yeah.
All game.
Yeah, Ohio doesn't do anything half-assed.
What's up, Barb?
Cincinnati, for example, and Cleveland are both like horrendous places. So Ohio goes hard, but it is what it is, which is why, yes, Toxic Angel, Ohio has thugs. I again, I refer you to Cleveland.
Kind of like skinned it, but at the same time, yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's kind of crazy though. But what happens when you take a bunch of people from a country where starvation is a way of life, and you drop them into what appears to them to be a land of plenty, complete with feline dishes?
I also
Stand by
hear
my previous
I
statement.
also hear that they have some kind of magical properties. And in Haiti, a lot of people practice voodoo, right?
Yeah, voodoo is very commonly practiced in Haiti. One of the things that's actually kind of come up lately about voodoo, and Haitian voodoo in particular, is there are a bunch of people now saying we don't want them bringing voodoo to the States. Is like, you realize that shit started in like Louisiana with the slave trade, right? No, I'm just saying it's not Haitian in origin originally. So,
Look, Sam, just like a certain nationalist socialist party's view on race came from America and voodoo, we don't talk about that, okay? It's
Right.
a Haitian problem. It's not ours.
right. Well, but the to Kenzo's point, yeah, animal sacrifice, and in extremely secretive circumstances, on occasion, human sacrifice is very much part of that religion and that culture. On the dark side of it, I mean, there's not really a lot of light side, but there's some like middling gray area. I'm less concerned with the animal sacrifice than I am with the fact that a few months ago people were talking about Haitians eating their own people.
That barbecue guy.
Yeah. So, like, what's to stop these guys once they run out of like ducks and shit from going after pedestrians or school children?
Or worse, what if they just go, duck is nice, cat is good, but damn, it's been a while since I've had long pork. What's stopping them? Law enforcement that we needed to fund because they oppressed
Law
black people.
enforcement's not doing a damn thing, Shadow. You know that. If they were, they'd stop them from eating the goddamn cats.
Two-tier
justice.
All of the
No, my joke was.
Sorry, I was just saying all of the official videos I've seen or statements in the media or statements from officials say that cats are not being eaten, but and they're not being eaten by Haitians. But I've seen a lot of videos online this week specifically of people that, if I didn't know any better, could look Haitian. These weren't necessarily in America. I saw a couple of videos was in Europe where there was a gentleman literally barbecuing a cat on a fire in a car park, like a parking lot. And then I saw another video with a gentleman literally holding the cat in his hands, still alive, like it wasn't a kitten, it was like a adolescent cat, not a fully grown one, and he then sort of casually takes a bite from the neck and then is drinking the blood. But again, I would hazard to, that didn't look like starvation, that looked like some kind of ritual to me, whereas the one in the parking lot was definitely for sustenance.
Sure,
apparently it's like I've heard, now I'm not Haitian, I've never been to Haiti, but apparently it's like some cultural festival or like religious thing of eating cats is like some kind of part of their culture, and it's like a sign of wealth to be able to do it in Haiti. So this isn't just
culture is being poor.
Yeah.
But
like I said earlier, starvation is a way of life.
Yeah.
Right, but specifically cat meat has a specific value within the culture beyond, like, the fact that they eat mud to fill up their stomach so they're not actually like starving and suffering from those effects. That's starvation. The eating cat has a specific connotation, just like in China there's a dog eating festival, or
the mud thing isn't like throughout Haiti. That is one specific location that has always been very poor and dangerous to be in. Drunk 3PO, he's been there. And when that like documentary or whatever report that they did on like those cookies, those mud cookies, was going around, he asked the people there and they're like, no, we never would have even thought of doing something like that. And there were a couple of people that did say when he was asking about it that it was from this specific like neighborhood area that, like I said in the beginning, is just always been very poor and dangerous and whatnot. So just for more clarification on that, at least from his anecdotal, but in the country experience.
Right. Real quick for a more clarification. I saw Lakira 55 said something about voodoo starting in France. I don't believe that is correct. And Andy Pickles saying that hoodoo comes from Nigeria. Well, it does come from Africa. I don't know if Nigeria is specifically the place. I wouldn't say that it's not. But voodoo is not hoodoo, right? Hoodoo is the precursor old African religion. Voodoo is what happened when they brought those practices into overseas with them, but then were converted into Catholicism or some form of Christianity. And like Santeria, it borrows a lot from Catholicism, from like saints and angels and stuff. It gives them different names, but they have similar roles. Like Papa Legba, for example, is a stand-in for St. Peter.
Big Papa Jimbo.
So yeah, like voodoo is a hybrid religion. It originated in the Caribbean and in Louisiana.
There's a few different ones like that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you've got Santeria. You got several variations of a
like,
hoodoo type of thing.
I don't know if you guys know of like the mushroom shaman from Mexico called Maria Sabina, and she had like a similar thing like that, where she used to practice sort of the older like native mushroom rituals, but then she mixed it with her own stuff, where she put blessings from saints and stuff in it. So it is quite common when to mix a bit of the Catholicism in with the native stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, Catholicism itself is that anyway, isn't it? You know, they kind of
if you're being perfectly honest about it, yeah, as the Holy Roman Empire spread through pagan territories, they absorbed a lot and assimilated a lot of pagan practices. They co-opted a lot of pagan gods and demoted them to like demons and shit.
Solstice celebrations and stuff.
Yep, the Tannenbaum is a pagan thing. The solstice is a pagan thing. Easter is named after an ancient Babylonian sex goddess.
What?
You know?
Ishtar.
But here's my question. What's your favorite stolen pagan theme that is still practiced in modern Christianity?
Santa Claus.
Mine is Christmas. Yes, sir. Blood on snow in an evergreen forest.
It's specifically, yes, the suit, the Santa suit, blood on snow. Yeah.
Yeah. Santa died for our sins.
So speaking of human sacrifice. So here's the thing. Like, I know there's a lot of people getting up in arms about the whole like voodoo thing and about the animal sacrifice thing. And like, I get, like, you don't eat people's pets, you know, like whether you believe they're part of your family or your property, that animal belongs to somebody else. You don't just take that and do stuff with it. There are laws about that. But as far as like, you know, people going like, oh my God, they're sacrificing animals. Look, every single religion in the history of religion has had some form of blood sacrifice or another, right? Christianity is built on the single biggest blood sacrifice in all of time, you know?
But that was different, Sam. He died for our sins.
It's different when he does it.
They used to sacrifice goats and lambs and stuff, didn't they?
Yeah. Technically, they're still supposed to. So are Jews. Jews are still supposed to be sacrificing goats and sheep and shit. They don't, but they should. They're supposed to, according to the tenets of their religion.
Goats in Palestine.
I mean, there's a lot of things that Christians and Jews are supposed to be doing that they don't do. To be fair, sacrificing shit very bloodily is bottom of the list, I'd imagine.
I don't know.
Still waiting on that damn third temple.
Honestly, it reeks very similar to the communism just hasn't been done right.
Right. That's I've made you too, Gal. You and I have had this conversation. I have made that exact argument.
We do it this time, it'll be better.
We've had a lot of conversations, Sam. Like, we just think similarly. Sometimes one of us does.
Wait a second, hold on. If he has an interior monologue and you don't, how does that work?
Mhm.
What's up, Mitch?
Works
His
for him,
interior
and
monologue.
his works for him, mine works for me.
You don't
Yeah,
have
my,
one. It doesn't do anything.
My way.
I have a really
thinking.
good one though. It sort of fills in for.
Yours is so loud and obnoxious. She doesn't need one. I like
Pretty
that.
much. So, but yeah, no, you're right that's something that people are worried about and all that. And there have been, I would say probably less pay attention to the politicians, because politicians lie. We all know they lie. You know, they may not be lying today, but they'll be lying tomorrow. You never know which time it's going to be. So just assume they're lying all the time.
Nope.
However, you're talking like there are plenty of clips of city council meetings with citizens who have filmed this
Internet.
Can't understand
shit
you, Sam.
happening,
It's
Internet.
killing you.
being
Hey, anybody want to do some mumble rap?
God damn it.
It'll be good.
I would say I know where you're
Mumble
coming
rap.
from, Sam. You could play the video in one of those council meetings in front of them with, you know, time stamped, with the newspaper in the background, and they would still deny it. They would just
Yeah.
still say no. This
Yeah.
you know, they can't help but lie. Everyone knows it's happening, but like you're saying, I would also hazard that most people, yeah, you know, with the whole blood sacrifice ritual thing, opposed to eating them for sustenance and eating people's pets, right? I think most people would be more on board with the, you know, sacrificing them, you know, because of the excuse that, yeah, well, voodoo or whatever it's a religion at the end of the day,
Mhm.
you know, and, you know, your country and my country, we both have a place where, for the most part, we have people have freedom of religion. So I think most people would be more opposed to their pets being eaten, you know, when there's other animals and food available, than them
Sure.
being, you know, yeah.
Yeah. I think we even had a case in New York City about 22 years ago. Sasquatch, you might remember this, where a guy was getting in trouble with the health code authority because he'd been sacrificing chickens in his
Yeah,
house or
yeah.
whatever, in
Yeah.
accordance with his religion, which was voodoo. And I think he ended up winning that case because it is constitutionally protected.
If I remember right, he won the case against the prohibiting him from practicing butchery in his own home, but he lost the case against the health department. He still got
Yeah.
moved out of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because he was bringing chickens within city limits, which were not supposed, you know, which was a health code violation.
And that's the
There's-
one that it's hard to get your head around, how people have, you know, an affinity towards cats and dogs because we keep them as pets, you know. But
Mhm.
then, you know, you'd be more on board, well, a chicken because we eat them and we kill them ourselves for food, you know. One of them being used in a sacrifice is a bit easier to get your head around than
A better one.
a kitty
How
cat.
about rabbits versus guinea pigs?
Hmm.
There's no
People-
measurable difference between the two except a set of ears.
Yeah, for sure.
See, I'd
That's
say
it.
guinea pigs. I'd
Guinea
say
pig
guinea
over
pigs
the
because
pet.
we already basically sacrifice those to snakes. I've known people who
Yeah, sure.
they've got
Yeah.
they've got
My
snakes,
point
and the
is-
snake will refuse to eat non-alive prey. So they buy like a guinea pig that is
Mhm.
meant to be food.
And
And then-
also,
Yes.
you know, crickets,
Yeah,
like live
I'm
insects.
fine with that.
we-
Rabbits, though, rabbits are people food. You don't sacrifice that. That doesn't go to the gods. That goes to people.
Yeah, people don't think of, well, insects, you think of them as soulless drones, you know, like as opposed to a mammal. You sort of, because we're mammals ourselves, you're a bit more closely connected
Well,
to them.
I kind of feel like communists are soulless drones too. I mean, after all, they're basing their philosophy off.
Apart from
ant
Commie
milk.
Mark, just shout out
Yeah,
to
a bit-
Commie Mark.
Don't
he's the only-
compare. Do not compare insects and communists. Insects play a role in the greater ecology of the world.
Yeah, they
Communists
serve a purpose.
fucking
My bad. I'm just saying that there's far too similarities in the analogies drawn between the colony concept of ants versus the colony concept of communism concept. Right? These are the same
Again,
thing.
I fundamentally disagree with the comparison of communists and ants on the grounds that ants actually contribute. I would argue communists are more like a viral infection. They arrive in a place that's perfectly functional, they destroy it, they breed, and then they scatter to a place that's completely functional until they completely destroy everything.
Goddamn
you
kid,
talking
that
about
shit is
Chinese
sharp
communists
as
in-
hell, bro. Yes, sir. Accurate.
What was that, Kenzo?
The Matrix was correct.
I was just saying, is he
Humans are
describing
virus.
Chinese communists or ants?
Right.
Chinese communists, Russian communists, American communists, freaking Finnish communists. All doesn't matter the kind of communist.
Actually, American communists suck. They don't really do anything. They show up at Starbucks.
That's true.
Well,
I
that's-
can at
that's
least,
one of
I can
the-
at least.
That's one of the great things about this country, man. You know, we can have a communist party and they can be totally ineffective because there are 5,000 other parties out there. You know? But it doesn't matter because there's only one that looks like two that's in charge of everything. So
Is there more communists than cats in Ohio? And could the Haitians eat the communists instead of the cats?
well, they could, but I mean, if the
Because the
communists are
consumption-
successful, they'll be eating cats too eventually.
That's true. It'll just be an even playing field then. But at that
Also-
point, I'm going to have to look towards the delicious Longport. Like I said, my dog can help me find another neighbor.
Mm.
Also, to be fair, I feel like the
Yeah, dude.
consumption of a communist would classify as a human rights violation. And whilst we are a stable society, we cannot afford to allow anyone to stoop to that level.
Mm.
I think we can all agree to that.
So if you
Let's
had
go
to
to the
eat-
communists
if you-
before we turn the
Shadow,
communists into food.
Shadow, if you had to eat a communist, which one would you choose? Like a Chinese communist? A
I'm
Russian?
allergic to soy.
Maoist, a Stalinist, a Trotskyite. I'd probably pick a British syndicalist. Honestly, that's probably what I would pick solely because the diet would be much better.
You're just saying that because he's British.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I completely forgot what Kenzo was. I thought he was like some guy coming talking from the East Coast.
Yeah.
Oi! What are you going on about, you cunt? Oh, that was a bit Australian, wasn't it?
That was Australian. Kenzo, I do apologize for forgetting your place of origin. I understand that as a proud
It doesn't
Welshman, I
matter.
should not be insulting you like that.
My own country is forgetting its place of origin, so yeah.
Wales is forgetting itself? Oh shit.
Mhm.
Communist, the Pico meat. Something
We're
nice.
controlled by a communist at the moment.
It was a No, that's
Yeah.
Scotland that's controlled by a jihadist.
Ugh, no,
That's
he's not
that's
anymore.
actually something else we'll be we might bring up here in a little bit is Starmer's you know
Ugh.
deal involving the Storm Shadow missiles that they're
Yes.
talking about launching in Russia.
I mean, that's exactly what all of the British people have asked for, isn't it? Like,
Hmm
We want World War
yeah,
III.
we've all,
Obviously.
that's what we want. We just
what we're going
we
for.
fully support the Ukraine, like, and fucking, we've all got the flags in our bios, and we're fully on board with them telling us that we currently have a 22 billion pound black hole in our economy caused by the prior government, but they're still happy to send, like a couple of billion over there every year to help in their
Couple?
war.
I mean, I hear your complaints, but when you're talking about the difference between like the Ukrainian budget of America versus UK,
Yeah, fuck yeah.
like
We
really?
are 65 million people, like there's not that many of us. Our tax dollars don't really add up.
Does that
Chop,
65
chop.
million count? Does that 65 million count the illegals and the jihadists that have taken
No.
over London?
Why
don't
would
think
that
they get
matter? They
counted.
don't have to pay taxes.
No.
They,
Right.
they don't have to sign up for the census.
Yeah, they don't
Right.
Either.
pay tax.
You don't know how
Okay,
many
yeah,
there are.
gotcha.
They don't
because my thing
actually
is if-
exist.
No. And
Yeah,
they
see,
cost-
see,
they
because if
cost-
those
they-
people
they
fell
cost-
under the 65, then I would understand the contribution that the UK has made. But come on, guys, pump those numbers up, okay? Don't make this a
The
NATO
thing is,
thing.
though, as well, they breed at a higher rate than us. So
Oh yeah, like 10 kids a family
Rabbits?
crammed into a room for two. It's fucking wild.
but even
Well, there are reasons for that. Number one, they don't believe in contraception, and number two, they don't eat a lot of fucking processed crap
I don't
that
know,
lowers their sperm count.
we if you like a lot of famous people or whatever, or like I've been watching a lot of the old sort of English gangster YouTube videos that talk about the old bank jobs and stuff that happened in London. And when they're interviewing these old guys and they're talking about where they come from, they're all like, oh yeah, I grew up in East London from a family of 12, you know, like, and that was only like the 60s, you know what I'm saying? That was only like 60 odd years ago. And that's Brits, man. Like my mum comes from a family of 13 kids. My dad comes from a family of 9 kids. Like it weren't so long ago that we were doing exactly the same, but for whatever reason, it's been, you know, the pursuit of a career seemed more important than having a family. You know, that's been drummed into you to be a wage slave rather than have kids. And it's fucked.
And as it turns out, you know, being a career boss lady dries up the ovaries something quick.
For sure.
Well, look, I'm just saying, Gal's got this look on her face, but like
No, it's true.
most of these women, they get 10 years into their career and they start having doubts and regrets, and they're just like, oh, well, maybe I should think about a family now. And then they find out it's too late. In a lot of cases, it's a lot sooner than it would have been, because all of that stress on that, the stress of the career, the stress of the job puts a lot of stress on the body, right? It fucks things up. And so you do end up sort of kind of pushing yourself closer to menopause faster.
It's definitely a cultural and societal thing, though, you know, like I was saying, like it was only 60 odd years ago that it was the norm to come from a big family, and for that they wanted to produce more whatever, wherever you're from, British kids, American kids, you know, like whereas now it seems it's in other cultures that's important, whereas ours it just isn't, you know, like, and I can't get my head around it.
Well, Kenzo, think about it. If you have children, right? Like how, like children, with that, with the money that I spend on that child, I could buy as many video games as I want. I could buy as much weed as I want. I could buy all the unhealthy food I want. I could work like fewer hours. I could spend more time for myself. But if I have a kid, that's money that's not for me. That's time that's not for me. That's comfort I won't have. Me as a materialist, selfish bastard growing up in this Marxist world who has been told, put yourself above anything else, why the fuck would I ever want a kid?
Yeah, I know.
That's the disconnect.
I know.
These other cultures, these other places.
Family is frowned upon. You know, you've got these weirdos talking about we need to smash heteronormativity and all these nonsense slogans you hear, and really it should be,
well, that's a more recent
family
development.
is the most important thing, because that, like, you know, our children are the citizens of the future. Like and if you care about your country, you should be encouraging your native like citizens to be having more kids, and the rate that they should be having them should most definitely be higher than
I'll
the
be
rate
out
of
here trying to
immigration.
throw it to these hoes. They resisted. I'm trying to make as many kids as possible, and they won't let me.
I honestly think that we imported more people in this country this year than were born here. I think that statistic is correct, honestly, and that's worrying. That's really worrying, you know, like people like the whole immigration subject is taboo. You know, you bring it up in this country at the moment, and you're labeled as, especially by the media or politicians, you're labeled as far right if you have concern about immigration, and because they immediately say, oh, well, that just must mean that you don't like people with, you know, that aren't British. You just don't want them to come here. And it's like, no, that's not true. There's many people that come to work in this country that have to pay visas and pay a lot of money just so they can work here and live here. I have no problem with them people, you know. I have no problem with people that want to move here with their family, that have skills, that want the British way of life, you know, like, and that's fine. But when you've got people coming in on boats that can't speak the language, no skills, you know, we don't know where they've come from. They're not checking their backgrounds. They're entering illegally, which we have laws in place that would mean that they can't seek asylum, because if you come in on a legal route, you're not an asylum seeker, you're an illegal immigrant. But we're not allowed to call them that. They're calling them irregular migrants and all these other things, just like to change the language so we can't air our grievances, you know. And it's getting to the point where for the last 20 years, our government, the immigration question has been high on the list, and every person that's promised over the last 20 years that they would do something about it, they haven't done anything, and it has skyrocketed. And you guys are experiencing it now too.
Mhm.
Right? Yeah, and it's not just you, and it's not just us, it's the whole of Europe. There's a lot of places like a small island in Lampedusa, where the population was 4,000. Within a 2-week period, they had 10,000 African men turn up on boats. Like, and you haven't got to be an idiot to work out that 10,000 African men do not just get the same idea to jump on boats, you know, off their own accord and head to a specific island all at once. It just doesn't happen. They're being instructed. Yeah, and
It'd be like saying the Magyar migration was a complete accident.
yeah, but that's what I'm
Well-
saying. And even in our country, we've had however many people come over in the last 2 years, and say that they come over in boats between 30 to 70 people at a time on boats. Yeah, if all of them boats would have come over at once, what would you call it? You would call it an invasion.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If I had a nickel for the number of times your country has been invaded by foreigners using boats, I'd have 2 nickels. That's not a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice.
Yeah.
It's happened quite a bit more than twice, but
Yeah,
a lot of it happened before it was a unified anything.
I'm specifically speaking of the country of England.
Yeah.
Being, I believe it was Svein Forkbeard's big invasion. And, actually, no, technically 3, because we also have to account for the Normans. So
Well,
technically
Spanish
3.
tried it. Spanish tried it with their boats, but
Yeah,
Did not go well.
yeah, it didn't go down
Trafalgar. Trafalgar?
I love
However you say it,
Prometheus
stay on
for
the
that
same.
one.
well. Yeah.
Prometheus
It's
really
Trafalgar.
came in clutch.
Trafalgar.
Mhm. But yeah, like I
Trafalgar.
said, you have to be an idiot if you don't think that you know, all of the governments are all having the same idea. The people are telling them one thing. No, that's not what we want. We want you to care about our people first, and then if we have any left over, we will be goodwill and help the rest of the world, but help your people first.
Right.
And they all seem to be like, oh well, no, but we have this duty to look after all these other people in these war-torn
Well,
areas. And
That's the thing, though, Kenzo. No, you don't. Nobody
I
has
know.
a duty to look after anybody else.
Mm-mm.
You know,
Oh,
like if
no.
you want to take it upon yourself, but you're absolutely right. Because I mean, you could even apply that to a personal level. If you are not taking care of yourself, you are no good to anybody else.
Mm-hmm. But
know,
a lot of the people that will preach the, you know, migrants welcome, you know, refugees welcome slogans, you ask them yourself, oh well, would you happily house a migrant in your home? And they'll come up with every excuse. Oh well, no, I live in a rented accommodation. I'm not actually allowed to sublet. Or oh well, I have not really got the room at the moment because I've got my sister staying. So
Or I don't want to bring it down my property values. I mean,
yes. Oh, well, want them in the country, but just not in my state. You know, we'll have
like
them
you know,
open.
like we had a similar thing here a couple years ago when you know, so a bunch of immigrants were coming through, and this was before it got real bad. But we had a bunch of illegals coming through, and they were getting just waved over the border and shit. And so
Yeah.
certain states, including Texas and Florida, decided they were going to start busing these immigrants to Martha's Vineyard,
Yeah, I saw
which
that.
is, yeah, that was pretty fucking funny. And they were all of a sudden, they just turn around. They're just like, oh no, we don't want them here, not right here, not right where our property values are and our nice picket fences and our you know, the only immigrants who are allowed around here have to use the servants' entrance. You know,
Right.
so no, get them away from here. But you know,
We did a,
definitely, you know, bring them into the country.
Me and
That's it,
Captain
not on my
Curmudgeon did a
doorstep.
telethon for the to the poor citizens of Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah, fuck those guys. I'm saying, you know? Like if there's
Well, you-
ever been a community in this country outside of like Silicon Valley and you know, I don't know, Hollywood or whatever, that deserves more derision and more spite from the rest of America, it's fucking Martha's Vineyard.
That's where all the people in DC live, right? Like all the politicians and bureaucrats and shit.
It's outside of DC, but yeah.
Mhm.
Alright, okay, then yeah, I definitely agree. Yeah, It is literally the Roman senatorium going, I don't want to be around all those slaves or all those Gauls or all those Germans, but make them
All
do
the
all the jobs
Poors.
'cause it's cheap.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
The pause.
The thing that we're having the same thing here. The left, well, even the right wing politicians that were supposed to be, the right were lefty here for the last few years. But the left will say, yeah, refugees welcome, and if you say, oh well, we should deport illegals, they'll say, oh, how can you say that? That's you guys are crazy. It's the same with you guys, right? You're like Trump supporters will say, yeah, well, get rid of the illegals, and the liberals will call you racist for saying that, right? Like,
Yeah.
but they are illegal immigrants. We both have laws in this country where you're supposed to deport those people. Like, why are they not enforcing the laws?
Right. Shadow, you're echoing.
Okay, I literally do nothing to adjust my audio, and it'll just randomly start fucking around. I hate it. Wait, one.
Oh, it's not doing it now.
I think
Nope,
I
there it
fixed
is again.
I mean, especially in my country, the Labour government got in and they're, locking up people for hurty words on Facebook or for shouting at police dogs. And at the same time, they'll say, yeah, we're going to be using the full extent of the law to prosecute these people. It's like, well, why are you not doing that with illegal immigrants? We have laws in place for illegal immigrants to be rounded up and deported. We have you're telling us our prisons are overcrowded at the moment, and they were telling us we were down to the last 100 spaces, yeah? So he had to release 10,000 prisoners early, like violent criminals across the board, to make space for all of these, dissidents and whatever, and rioters, which, rioting is wrong, and people did commit some crimes that did deserve to be locked up, yeah? But we've got 10,000 foreign nationals in our prisons. Like, why couldn't he deport them? Why are we housing them and the taxpayers paying for them when we could have deported them? And that's 10,000 spaces you got there without having to release criminals.
Yeah.
It's in Morocco. I don't remember the name of that city, but I know exactly where Andy's talking about.
Yeah, it is what it is. So, but that's kind of the thing, and I suspect England's experiencing the same thing. But a lot of the quote unquote immigrants that are coming through are not immigrants. A lot of them, Trump's right. A lot of them did come from prisons that were emptied out in places like Venezuela, right? Yep. But a lot of them are enemy soldiers who are being deployed.
Mm-hmm. Like MS-13 types. Like
MS-13 types, CCP types. There are Chechnyan nationals. There are Ukrainian and Russian nationals pouring through the border. They're not coming. They're not all South American.
We're getting Mauritanians. We're getting Afghans, Syrians, Romanians, all sorts.
Mm-hmm. And all of them are young.
Or Spanish, Mexican. Aren't Romanians a kind of Mexican?
Shut up.
That is definitely the kind of situation they should do.
What was that?
Ist.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, you're thinking of gypsies, and gypsies are not just Romanian.
Oh no. I know very well the difference between a gypsy and a Romanian. A gypsy will stab you if you call them Romanian.
Stop
while stealing your shit.
Save yourself.
That's the Romanians that steal shit, apparently.
You're going to get a gypsy Romanian curse. You need to calm yourself down, Egg. You're too young to go out like that. I don't want it to be this way.
Squatch, I'm just repeating everything my Hungarian friend has told me, okay? I'm saying nothing that will
Hungarians.
Never trust the Hungarians, bro.
You know what happened? You know what happened when Mircea II trusted the Hungarians? His cousin, John Hunyadi, who was the regent of Hungary at that time, cut his hands, his feet, his tongue off, castrated him, shoved the burning poker up his ass, burned out his eyes, and then buried the fucker alive.
Well, he was
sounds like we need to partition the Balkans, give one half to Poland and the other half to Russia.
Fuck Poland.
I like the sausages.
To be
Fine,
fair,
just make it one country and give it to the civilians.
Poland and Hungary are the last vestiges of normality in fucking Europe at the moment.
I got a plan to take over Europe. Here's what we do. As the American consulates, right? We take over Europe physically, but we give it all to the French, right? That way, if we ever we'll never have to reinvade. We could literally deploy a single unit of Marines and they would run away.
We are not remaking the Carolingian dynasty. We are not remaking the Carolingian dynasty.
Okay, I'm seeing the subtle genius of this plan.
It's like outlawing hunger.
just hope that you don't take over anywhere where they can hide in forests or mountains, because some of your invasions.
As long as they keep hiding, I don't see what the problem is.
Too well.
People who hide in mountains don't vote.
Like your country and my country struggled with a bunch of fucking Afghans hiding in mountains, man. Let's be honest, that didn't exactly go spectacularly.
Yeah. But you see,
that went about as well as our jungle adventures in Southeast Asia.
Yeah, for sure.
And you know how we won that? We burnt the fucking jungle down.
We pretty much developed chemicals capable
the
of
British
stripping
Empire
leaves
is not
from
what it
trees.
used to be, I can assure you.
Oh man.
The rest of the world knows it too. You know, we still have this, delusion of grandeur that we're this great fucking global fucking empire or whatever, and we have respected royal family. But like I said, we're 65 million. We're 65 million twat heads on a small little island that don't produce anything.
Yeah,
and we're the laughing stock of the world at the moment because we're literally locking
No, sir.
people up.
America has you beat. Have you seen our president? Have you seen our nominees for the upcoming election? It looks like a WWE wrestling card, son.
Well,
Donald. Wait, Kenzo, is that 65 million accounting for the Welsh and the Scottish?
Yeah, that's Britain as a whole. Yeah.
Okay, so then you've also got the problem that 2/3 of that 65 million hate 1/3 of it.
Yeah, they do hate England. They do.
That's true. That's true. You know what's funny about that is like the population you're talking about here, that size 65 million, just doesn't seem all that big to an American. You know, like we had more dead people vote for fucking Biden.
Right.
Yeah.
I drove across from Las Cruces, New Mexico to Vegas, and that is like 4 Great Britons.
Yeah. I was just fixing to say this is to keep in mind that the 65 million people he's talking about is in an area the size of my county.
We can fit.
Like
4 times.
The entire British Isles is only 3% smaller than my state. Or my state is only 3% larger, but it's still, I mean, Wyoming's pretty fucking big. Like we can fit all of Britain in here. We don't want to, though. We like our space.
Before I have a chance to interrupt, I've got a different stream I got to head off to. So
because you don't love us anymore?
No, because it's the only chance I get to be a D&D player, and I DM 2 other campaigns. What was that?
Nerd!
She called you a stream slut.
Okay.
It's good
just hopping from one to the other. It's fine.
Yeah.
Just let stones. May break my bones.
Just let your new stream buddies that you're cheating on us with, just let them know that you are our sloppy seconds.
Yep. Let them know they're the ones that are pulling up short.
I will say that on stream. I will say that on
I know you will.
All right. Well, so if any of you in the chat want to either just hop over quickly to check it out, or
now you're trying to take our
Oh, you're coaching my fucking chat, dude.
Wow, you really are.
What the fuck?
I said watch.
Bye, Shadow.
Who the fuck does that, man?
I said no. To pop over for a second or watch the VOD. I'm not stealing.
Yeah, but these people have the attention span of a freaking goldfish. They're gonna pop over for a second and make coffee.
Sam,
Look,
Sam, you are a 2024 presidential debate moderator. You are
Don't
fake
try to
news.
explain yourself. Just go. Don't make this any harder than it is.
I'm gonna revoke your
already done the
privileges,
damage.
kid. Yep, definitely.
You got a bitch.
Have a
Damage
good
done.
one.
Yeah, so
All
it's
right, plug
a
shit
D&D
before you go.
Yeah, D&D stream over on the Inside All Day Podcast Gaming. It's hosted by Nadia and Chris from that same channel. It's also got Untamed Mando, myself, Bob Lurkin, and I don't actually know her internet persona, but the Discord name she has is Dragon Wolf, playing in a campaign run by Magic Man, who you can check out on Twitter. And then for myself, Monday night I'm hosting a Hawk Talk, which is basically going to be what will post-apocalyptic America look like, because I'm kind of out of ideas.
Idiocracy.
And then Wednesday,
Mexico.
yeah.
Idiocracy.
And then Wednesday, I've got my own D&D stream, 8:30 p.m. U.S. Central Time, where I've got a bunch of great people going through the gauntlet. They're currently about to break into a abandoned dwarven hold and fight an evil wizard with a pack of spiders. So it's going to be great. And I will get going before Sam has a chance to abuse me anymore. Thank you, Sam, for having me on. Thank you to the panel
Real
for
quick,
the great
before you
conversation.
you go, as punishment for trying to poach our chat, you had better shield each and every fucking one of us when you get over there.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me actually write this down. Okay, hold on, because there's a lot of people in the chat that I also need to include to shill. Okay, hold on. There's
You don't need to
obviously
be on camera to
Samael
do
the
that.
Infamous,
Make your notes.
Master of the Box.
He
There's
doesn't even say your name.
Gal. There's
Yeah, that's
Gal,
old lore.
Squatch, Kenzo. Let's see who's in the chat. There's Cliff. There's Luke Castley.
Redneck Warlords. Yeah,
who
no,
else
see,
has
that
got
was
a
the thing.
channel?
Back when this whole the scab, what was that thing that happened in Portland for a while there?
Your mom.
Was
Guys. All right, yeah. So I'm gonna head out. I'll make sure to show you guys out. Have a good one.
All right,
Take
see
it
you.
easy.
Thanks for coming. For those who are interested, because I'm not, searching up links to put them in the chat. All of the links of everybody who's on the panel and then some are in the description below. So, or all their YouTube links are anyway. So, yeah, you can usually find wherever else they are from there. If they post that shit on their pages, I do. I post all my shit on my pages. It's fine.
I see that.
It is what it is.
Some of that stuff is kind of questionable, dude. Like,
I know.
I'll scroll it through and I'll see the meme and put my phone in my pocket and then pull it back out. And be like, that's Sam, right? Right. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
There's not someone else out there doing that shit. Good.
Oh man. Yeah. So now that the usurper is gone, that's what I'm gonna start calling him. The usurper. He's coming up like Hamlet's uncle here. Yeah. But yeah, there is obviously a massive problem worldwide in the Western world, specifically like the Anglosphere, Europe, I think even to a certain degree, Australia, Canada, the US, where we're being flooded with people from all over the world. The only reason it's not happening in Russia, Russia's a majority white country too. The only reason it's not happening there is because A, they're at war, and B, they don't generally let people just tromp across their borders in the fucking first place.
And it's
Right.
not happening in Hungary.
It comes with the free lead.
Yeah.
It's not happening in Hungary, and they're being fined because they said we don't want to take in any illegal immigrants because our people don't want them.
If I was hungry, I'd say, the UN can go fuck themselves and withdraw
that's
from it.
exactly what they said. Go fuck themselves. And the other day, they actually got a load of buses, and they said, "We've got a load of buses. If you want to bring some people here, we've got the buses. We will take them straight to Belgium, to the head of the UN, like to the EU's headquarters, and you can fucking deal with them because we don't want them. Our people don't want them.
Kenzo.
He's the only leader that is standing up."
No, I appreciate that. I appreciate that Hungary's
You ready?
One of our boys, Skirmitar from the Full Aussie, he's
Okay.
he lives there, and
I think we
that
lost Sam, by the
he
way.
can verify that's not what the people want. They want it to be for Hungarian people, and you know, you can. That's fine. It seems like you can say it about a lot of other countries: Africa for Africans, you know, India for Indians. That you can't say, "Oh, Britain for British people," because then you're obviously a nationalist or a
Yep.
far right lunatic.
That is absolutely correct. I'm pretty sure we did lose Sam.
I mean, I'm happy to be called the far right if it just means that
Proud of your
yeah, that I'm
heritage.
proud of my nation and my people. I consider this one of the most beautiful countries on earth, and I want to continue living here. You know, and I want to be. I know I consider my family. We're of Celtic origin,
It's
so
beautiful.
we've been here for a good couple of thousand years, and I bet you could probably trace my lineage back. So I'm probably considered an indigenous native Briton. You know.
Yeah.
But it seems that that's not considered
Allowed anymore.
yeah yes, what I mean, it's not considered special, or like, whereas other, you know, other ethnic indigenous cultures get venerated, you know, and I'm not saying they shouldn't be. They should be proud to be wherever they're from, you know, but you shouldn't be able to go somewhere else. And we have
Take
large
over.
yeah, we have large enclaves here where
Yeah.
it's literally all predominantly Pakistani Muslim people, and they move in and everyone else moves out, and
Right.
then after like 10-20 years you've got predominantly, you know, secular regions, and it's only them that are doing it. You're not having all of the other ones doing it, and you can be damn sure that if you went to some of these, you know, Islamist controlled countries and tried to do the reverse, you wouldn't have a hope.
Well, yeah, because you're colonizing. It's only one direction.
Yeah, that's it.
It's not a terrible band.
But like I said, no one really. America is a country of immigrants, right?
Hmm.
You know, and I'm sure you guys are willing for people to have the opportunity to live the American dream if you have something to offer, you know,
Yeah.
or if you're willing to learn, if you're willing to do the jobs, you know. I have seen some cases where, you know, they're bringing in immigrants solely to work in areas because the people in the area are not wanting to work. And you know, you can't not respect the people that are coming in with the hard work
The
working
drive. Yeah.
yeah, not the ones that just want to sit in hotels or get given, you know, the free accommodation. That, you know, that then they're not going to end up in a productive role. We have a lot of them that come here illegally, and you know, like the Uber Eats kind of jobs.
Right.
They're taking a lot of them, and it should be down to the companies that run, you know, Uber Eats to not allow people to do cash jobs. You know, like it should be regulated, and it's not being so. Like I said, it's just backwards at the moment, man, and a lot of people are fed
I
up.
sort of feel like the
angry.
way you regulate that is at the border in the first place.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And it's
Mm.
just not being done. So now it's just become a festering wound.
Yeah, and
That's
like I
out of
said,
control.
people will want to deport the people that shouldn't be here. And when you try and say something like that, people automatically think, oh, well, you just want to deport all the foreigners. And I'll be honest, if we did deport all the foreigners, this country would fail. Yeah, this
Yeah.
country would grind to a halt. Like our health service would grind to a halt. Our hospitality industry would grind to a halt. You know, our leisure and tourism would grind to a halt, because we do have a lot of people that come here to work. And again, like I said, that's not who people
Who you're
have an
talking
issue
about.
with.
Right.
No. I worked in construction with people from all over the world, hard-working people that had a stronger work ethic than a lot of young English men do.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what we need to instill into a lot of these youngsters that's coming up. You know, a lot of them, you ask them, what do you want to be when you grow up? They want to be an influencer or a YouTuber or a computer game developer, or like none of them want to be, you know, I want to be a builder, I want to be a police officer, I want to be a fireman, you know.
Hi, Sam.
Hey Sam, welcome to the show, bud.
Phone or PC got fixed?
Modem got fucked.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, it just dropped all signal to everything. It
Oh.
was awesome.
Awesome.
So,
Sounds awesome.
yeah, I'm super happy about it. If it belonged to me, I would smash it.
I think it's like I was saying earlier about you know, the whole nuclear family is not like a sought after lifestyle that's being pushed by the media or the government. Like,
Yeah.
and it should also be stuff, you know, like I was saying, that the kids need strong, like boys need strong male role models to look up to, you know, rather than just footballers or Jake Paul or Logan Paul or dickheads or like.
What are you
I
talking
showed
about?
you.
Tyreek Hill is such a great idol that kids need to look up to.
Andrew Tate as well, like he's.
Oh, there's shit that came out about Tate Brothers not that long ago too that makes that even worse.
Yeah, no.
That even
I'm
preach.
actually from the same hometown as them too.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh wow.
Other side of the town.
Other side of the track.
They grew up in Marsh Farm, and I grew up in the other side of the town, Stopsley.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah,
Same
those
town
two.
as Tommy Robinson as well.
Really?
Yeah, it got voted.
Has
to be-
a regular festering cesspool of right-wing advocates in that
Right?
place. What are they doing?
What they put in the water?
I approve of it. Every
Right.
bit, whatever they're doing, you
Have
need
you
to
heard
export
of
some of it.
Luton? It's been voted the worst place to live in Britain
Oh,
for consecutive years. running.
Congratulations.
Well, that's where I'm from. I
Yeah.
don't live there now.
yeah.
It's like the anti-Sanford.
And the second one was a town called
Like
second
Cleveland.
one was a town called Peterborough, and I've kind of floated between the two, like my whole life, sort of in between.
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. Yeah, there's so much shit out there. You're right about the male role models thing. That there do need to be more
Yeah,
good male role models. The problem is that what's left of Western society is so degenerated at this point that
we're not doing anything, Sam.
Yeah.
This week we just got rid of the last oil refinery in Scotland. There's no blast furnaces. We're not producing any steel here. They want to stop taking gas out of the North Sea because we have this net zero agenda that they're pushing. They want to rely on, you know, clean energy solutions like solar panels and fucking wind farms and everything. But they're
yeah,
not creating anything. The kids are not seeing men put up amazing fucking buildings in their towns that you marvel at. They're seeing fucking shit architecture being thrown up by a load of wankers. Like there's nothing for them to look up to. You know, there's no great engineers, you know, like building giant boats from Britain that are sailing around the world doing great things. It's all done elsewhere.
Yeah. I mean, even our explorers, even our the explorers that everybody's looking to, the Titan sub, for example, right? That went real well because they were kind of half-assed about things. You know,
we're
like
talking about colonizing Mars, man, but we can't even fucking get it right here.
Yeah. Speaking of which, have you caught some of that shit that Musk has been saying lately about Mars? Because like he's been on this Mars kick for a while now, but he's been really, really in on it the last week or so, going on and on about how
4 years, right?
Yeah, and he's saying that the only hope for like free speech in the universe is colonizing Mars, and I don't know that I agree. You know, because who's going to colonize it? Will Elon
Somebody's-
be colonizing it on behalf of the United States or on behalf of SpaceX? If it's corporate owned, I mean,
The free Martian
Historically
people.
speaking, colonies have never had free speech.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
he'll create a haven for all of us degenerate far right lunatics.
What are you going to do? Jump there?
yes.
Like just pull yourself
Uber.
up by your bootlaces? Like,
get an Uber.
like our grandparents did to Mars? Just be like, eh.
Hmm.
No, he's
Besides, anyone who goes to Mars is pretty much stuck there. You don't really get
Well, that
stuff
and-
back.
once they start breeding and whatnot out there, you know, first of all, those
Good.
children will never be able to come back to the birthplace of their parents because they would be crushed to death by the fucking gravity well. But
No, there's more to it than that. They also can't do any heavy G maneuvers that are heavier than 1 Earth G, and so they
Yep.
can't do greater exploration outside of Martian space either. That's why if the only place they could go reliably is to the moon, and that would be utilizing a slow lift platform, not your rockets that you're used to seeing.
no, what was that, Kenzo?
In the show The Expanse, I think it's only when you live in the outer regions of the belt that you have issues coming back to Earth. If you live on Mars, you can go there. It is uncomfortable. But
It's extremely uncomfortable, and most of the people from Mars have to train for years in Earth norm gravity to be able to withstand it. Your average Martian still can't go back to Earth.
The issue is not the disposition of muscles; it's the disposition of
the
viscera
bone
fat.
density-
It builds up in places when you're on Mars that it won't build up here because it can't. You would die if it did, right? So people who come here from Mars will have to deal with the fact that their internal musculature, their connective tissue is not strong enough to hold their intestines and heart and lungs in the place it's supposed to be. I'm telling you, Mars is a dead end. We got to go. We need to like dip up out of the solar system. There's nowhere here that we can colonize, really.
No. We need one of these
Yeah.
proto-Earths. Like
We
that.
need a Stargate.
Right,
Yeah.
DARPA. Come on. I want my jetpack. Need a Stargate.
I am like
I mean-
not that far from Cheyenne Mountain. I'm just saying. I can check it out. See.
They're just going to show you the broom closet that's labeled Stargate program.
Valid.
They have one of those, by the way.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures. Yeah.
We could get more pictures of it.
You can get Grok to make you one.
Right. Oh, so some of you guys in chat might have noticed. Gal mentioned this morning on Beelzebub. I am rocking a new, very cool looking avatar. I've been playing with AI.
That's what you get for it.
It's super cool. I loved it.
That makes sense. That tracks. AI works.
Yeah. So now I'm not saying I trust it in any capacity at all.
Trust
I
it.
don't. But it made me a cool picture.
I
So,
hate
yeah.
but like people I'm pretty sure the person that made my avatar used it. So
Yeah, it is what it is. I tried to Squatch, I don't know if you saw in the group chat earlier, but I posted a link to something because I was trying to get Grok on Twitter to do some more like images of Jizzman.
Jizzman from space.
Yes, Jizzman from space. It wouldn't do Jizzman. It would, however, give me images of a menstrual superhero.
Oh my
You know, it was
God.
all about that menstrual blood. I even got a whole fucking backstory for that. But instead of
Eric
giving,
July's already done that one, man. You can't copy him.
I didn't copy him. Grok did. but so I tried really hard to get it to do the same thing with Jizzman for space, and instead of giving me an image, and it explicitly says this in the detailed profile it sent me, it gave me a backstory, a list of powers, all kinds of stuff. But at the end, it's like, yeah, you're just gonna have to imagine this because I'm not gonna make this picture for you.
Didn't you cosplay as Bloodroof as well, Gal? You looked
I
pretty
did, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
I was excited. I forgot I have a little plastic toy dragon that I was gonna try and put on my shoulder, but I had a last. As always tends to happen with my cosplay, something goes wrong at the last minute that I have to rush to figure it out, and so I totally forgot. I was sad. So I was
quite liked the animation for the horseman.
Yeah, they still got to work on some of that.
No, it looked good, man. It looked good. I like the animation. It looked good.
You said the horseman. Sorry.
Yes, yeah, horseman. Yeah, horseman animation. It's all good. It's fucking. I'm all for hyper violence and adult animation for sure. It's good.
All right. So because I brought it up, I do want to share it with the chat because I think this is fucking hysterical. Luke Cassidy, plug your ears. So this is what it gave me instead of an image, because this is what I typed in: image of Jizzman from space, a man made of ejaculate in zero gravity as a superhero. So it says, the legendary Jizzman from space.
Jizzman from space. In today's episode.
Yeah, it says a superhero concept that's as fluid as the medium it's made from. Here's a visual you might conjure in your mind's eye. Imagine a figure not unlike a comic book hero, but instead of being chiseled from marble or forged in the fires of some distant star, this chap is composed entirely of what one might delicately call cosmic emissions. In zero gravity, he doesn't just fly, he glides, propelled by the sheer force of his own, let's say, enthusiasm.
Wow.
That's just the first paragraph, dude. So under appearance, this is the description it gave back. Picture a man, but instead of skin, he's got this shimmering, almost translucent body that looks like it's made of starlight and, well, you know. His costume? More of a suggestion, really, with lines of light tracing where a traditional superhero suit might be, but it's all part of him. Superpowers, propulsion. He can shoot himself through space with blasts of energy. Think of it like a jetpack, but less mechanical and more biological. Invisibility. In certain lights, or perhaps when he's not feeling particularly exhibitionist, he can blend into the cosmos, becoming one with the nebulae. And he's got regeneration. Any damage, just a moment's concentration, and he's back to his full form. His lair, right? His lair, imagine a space station that's more like a giant floating spa. Everything is designed to be splash proof with zero gravity toilets that are more like art installations. His enemies, his arch nemesis, might be a villain who uses antimatter, or perhaps someone with a vacuum cleaner the size of a small moon, threatening to, well, you get the idea.
I think it should be something along the lines of Condom Man.
Right.
I like his man.
So his catchphrase,
organic.
Yeah. His catchphrase is "Fear not, for I am here to spread the joy of the universe." And then it goes into what it was telling me. It goes, now creating an actual image, that's a bit beyond my text-based capabilities. But if you're picturing it, you've got a superhero who's not just fighting for justice, but also for the right to express himself in the most expansive way possible. Remember, in space, no one can hear you scream, but they might see you coming from miles away.
Bro,
that's good.
Let's get involved in something nefarious on YouTube to make this comic up.
I just wonder if Lou is still here.
I could have
it used to be. This is a thing. We picked up a new subscriber, Billy Butterworth.
We need to crowdfund an animation.
And he loves it.
Right.
We need to crowdfund a Jizzman animated series.
Well, I've got an image of him. Let me see if I've got it loaded up here. I don't think I do. Right? Yeah.
Who could we get to do the voice? Who could play Jizzman?
Oh, honey, we got voices. Don't worry your pretty little head about the voices.
No, it's got to be a celebrity
in
voice,
head,
man.
it's
I mean,
okay.
a celebrity voice, not just some fucking loser YouTuber like one of us. You know, like someone that matters.
Right.
So who are you signing? You got a
That's
number?
what I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, so you
If
have
we
no
crowdfund it, we
answers.
might have some
We're
money.
shooting
That's what
all
I'm
the
saying. We might,
suggestions
and like
down, okay.
celebrities only deal with money. They don't give a fuck. It depends how much we can crowdfund.
So you do realize this is a superhero based around the male ejaculate, right?
Yeah.
Can you name one? We might be able to get a porn star to be
Sam
involved.
Smith.
Maybe.
That British guy, Sam Smith. You know, the singer. He loves
Oh, he does, but we don't love him.
No, well, I don't really want him to voice.
You see?
See, I
courtesy
imagined him more like the Silver Surfer, but
No, Sam. Got it. You need to redo some of this in the AI, but use milk instead of jizz.
milk.
Yeah, something like that. I do have another one that I don't like. I like it. It's more along the superhero-y lines, but it's got like this weird cookie thing going on that I'm not sure that I care that much for.
Hold on, let's see this. I want to know.
So
about
these are both courtesy of Super Suka here on YouTube. By the way, he made these. Yeah, that's more of a cookies and milk or cookies and cream kind of thing. Cookies and cream, I get. Okay, now my head's right there.
That's I don't know, man.
Yeah, I like the other one better. He's just
the cookies do kind of, that's weird.
I agree though. We need to do something about that.
Get the crowdfund page set up, man. Let's do this.
He's got a sidekick named Swallow.
Yeah, Swallow. No, it's not Swallow. It's just.
We should have two sidekicks, Spits and Swallows.
You can have a dog. You can have a dog, a little Spitz, like no name. Don't name the dog. He's an actual Spitz. Spits and Swallows.
Shouldn't it be Hawktua and Swallows?
I hear you.
Swallow.
I hear you. There should be a hawk named Hawktua.
He's got a swallow.
I think the egg should change his name to Shadow
versus his arch nemesis, the Mop Boy, who will throw him in the cum dumpster.
Right? I am Optimus Prime.
I cannot believe I'm participating in this.
Congratulations.
Dude, Gal, you were there for the creation of this. This is partially your fault.
No, it's not.
It's you.
You participated.
Evidence.
Without your approval, we would not have moved forward with this project. You are now creative controller.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was this around the conversation about how we've never been to the moon?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Fine.
I'm not even certainly been to space if there's not at least one snuff film involving it.
Yeah. I think that we should Squatch, you should lay that out again for Kenzo's benefit. If he hadn't heard.
All right. So I happen to creep around a whole bunch of flat earther locations, and quite often I get questioned why. And it's because I have a major problem with every space travel, everything ever that's ever happened. Nowhere in the history of NASA, the Gemini program, anywhere, nowhere in Russian history has there ever been evidence of an ejaculation in space. We don't have a single couple sneaking into a corner. We have no record of sex ever having taken place in space. No zero-G scrumping. And you want me to believe that you took some men and some women, you put them in a can floating around the earth, and they looked down at all of us and didn't catch a chub? I don't buy it.
I would have beat one off.
Believe, and until we find those tapes, I will be a skeptic. And so I creep around things like Earth Rises. streams and stuff, and they get kind of testy about it because I'm an avowed globetard, as they put it. I don't buy into any of that crap, but I don't buy necessarily into space travel, and I don't necessarily know why they're why are they pretending this isn't a thing? Anyone on the internet can tell you that if it can happen, it's already being sold on the internet sexually.
I feel like this should be like a rule 34.5.
There has to be a zero gravity money shot on video somewhere.
Where?
There must be.
Sir,
I don't know. Maybe it's classified.
No, it's supposed to all be public. This is NASA. We get direct public feeds from their direct public servers. So where would it be classified?
I mean, if you can find it, then at least we have proof. Enough.
You show me a buddy shot from space. You show me an avowed buddy shot in space, and I will shut up. I'll stop. But until then, I have my doubts. And so I creep around flat Earth, and my particular theory to espouse when I'm in a flat Earth is I think Minecraft got it right. It's actually a cube.
Yeah, I don't know. I you know what I'd say to flat earthers? It's the same thing everybody else has said to them. It's like, look, you guys want to prove it's a flat Earth? How about you set sail, and when you fall off the edge of the world, you let us know.
There's an ice wall. You're not going to fall off.
This man's listened. There's a couple of flat earthers who have been offered a trip to Antarctica to go hang out with penguins. And
my friend worked there doing ice core samples.
Sure. But these are two YouTubers, and they've somehow schwangled a trip to Antarctica. And there was some frou-frou going on about them not revealing the contracts that they had to sign to be involved. And apparently they're going to release those today or something like that. Anyway, I was on a panel of people that were discussing it, and this is all news to me. I had no idea any of this stuff was happening. I've been over in different panels doing
whose WEF dick did they have to suck to get that permission?
I don't know. And I would be interested.
Nobody goes to Antarctica. Nobody.
And there's interested in finding out. And so I was conversation.
I do know they drill the ice core samples and they bring them back to a building in Cambridge called the Antarctic Research Group. We did the roof on the place, and they showed us around, and they have all the ice cores in there. But like you said, if you're deep in the conspiracy, then these guys get on planes and think they're going to Antarctica on the globe model, but they're not really. They're actually going to somewhere on the ice wall, because all of the airlines are in on it, and NASA.
Yeah. I get it. Personally, I'm more of a Hollow Earth type, early dig sort of concept, but not in the classic sense of like, what is it, Pelagiad? Not
Pellucidar,
like
which is a creation of Edgar Rice Burroughs, by the way.
Right. Not an interior Earth model like that, but more like The Descent, where there's just
like
more
cabins and stuff, not like Agartha, not an actual internal sun and stuff. No.
Nothing like that, but more along the lines of there being a vasty amount more room inside the Earth in the form of caves.
Yeah, I believe that.
And we know of, than we believe.
Maybe when the population was lower and there was cataclysm, we retreated into such places for long periods of time.
I don't see why we necessarily would have left if the food was available. And we are a farming species. So we could feasibly carry certain types of food into the dark places. The problem is we need vitamin D and vitamin C.
That's where that internal sun comes in handy. You could grow some stuff.
Yeah. But I think that type of activity would help us in an attempt to colonize space. Being able to live for long periods without an actual freaking sun would be a handy trick. Supplements only go so far.
Yeah, for sure.
Indeed. I don't know, man. I'm not sure that I buy any single one of these theories, but I'm not dismissing them out of hand either because I find them immensely entertaining.
Right. That's what I told him of the flat earther thing that the host of, have you ever come across Nikita? Anyway, he hosts an amazing show. He has excellent conversations with really cool people, and I pop in every now and then, and we have great conversations, and I leave. I've never had an issue with the guy before, and for some reason he decides to take a negative view of my presence on that particular panel, and he came fairly aggressively. But you know me, Sam, it's real hard to get under my skin if I've decided we're going to be friends.
The way information nowadays is both consumed and shared has changed a hell of a lot in the last 30 to 40 years. Even in my lifetime, if you wanted to find something out, you had to go to the library and read some big fucking book, some encyclopedia to find out some shit, or a specialist book by scholars. Nowadays, you go online and you can watch a video about any subject you want. But for the official, word on most stuff, you have to go to, government regulated bodies or the government themselves. And most, citizens realize that there is certain information that you yourself, you're not privy to this. And you tend to sort of be okay with that. You just take it for granted, So I can see why people do get conspiratorial, especially with these governing bodies that are the gatekeepers of this sacred information nowadays that we're supposed to believe. They'll put out a picture. This is a picture of Earth. And then you say, what, is that an actual photo? Oh, well, no, actually, we photoshopped this bit a little bit just to change the clouds. And it's like, well, okay, well, if you did it to that picture, how it was to say you're not doing it to all pictures, I can see why there is that conspiratorial angle when we've had our trust broken so many times. Do you get me?
Yeah. We know we've been manipulated, so who's to say we aren't still being manipulated?
Yeah,
I know we're still being manipulated.
Especially like the moon, the moon footage. Like I've seen so many.
Oh, come on. That was Kubrick's greatest work. You can't tell me there's errors in there. It was beautiful. Look at it. Go watch it again. It's worth a look-see.
Eyes Wide Shut's pretty good too.
I don't know. I don't like Kubrick. But that aside, I'm kind of getting on board with this. That first moon landing wasn't real. I don't know about the subsequent 11 though.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that the first one may have been propaganda to throw the Russians off because they were trying to beat us there. Right. So we put that out saying we already got there. We claimed it for the USA. Right. Then they stopped, trying so hard to get to the moon. And that gives us more time to actually get there.
Yeah.
Well, there's another conspiracy theory about how the Russians never actually stopped.
Yeah, well, there's a theory about how there's the fucking CCP's got a bunch of militants on the dark side of the moon preparing to invade Earth too. So I mean,
and there's
take it with a grain of salt, man.
Aliens there too.
They've been running around at 1/6 Earth gravity.
Did y'all see Iron Sky?
Yeah. They're all going to die. They're going to turn into puddles on the ground as soon as they come into Earth gravity.
You can't blame people for being a bit nutty, and having some wild ideas, especially when you try and get the answers and just get fed a load of, well, I can't give you the answer because that's classified. It's not in your best interest to know.
Sure, and I'm not outright dismissing any of these ideas because I don't know either. I don't know for a fact that none of this is true.
What if
some of it seems implausible to me, like the Chinese army on the dark side of the moon? But I could be wrong. That's possible.
Already taken place. What if we've already met the aliens, and the first guy that met aliens was gay, and he laid down all this woke stuff as being like fact? Yeah. So they showed up. Wow, your world doesn't nothing like we thought it was. Let's make it that way.
Yeah. He's actually an entity that you have to smoke DMT to be able to communicate with. And he'll
don't get started on the machine, else, bro. It'll happen. Because what I'm trying to tell you right now is once you get the DMT past your lips, it's so much.
I've never tried DMT myself, precisely.
Man, you really need to.
But
You
I've
gotta
thought
get it.
really hard about it. And I think that perhaps young men these days could use a little bit of it in their sausage.
Definitely in the sausage. They
That's-
definitely need more sausage. All right, that's enough of that.
Yeah. I got to stop trying to replicate Jordan Peterson's voice because I listened back to his actual voice and I turned out sounding a lot more like fucking Marvin the Martian than I did like Jordan Peterson.
Now, that could be useful as well. Don't sell that short. It's a cartoon voice. It works.
Yeah, it's fun to do. And like y'all caught that short that I put out last week from that because
I did not.
It is there's only two people on camera who have their faces on camera, Gal and Sasquatch, and you guys both have the most awesome expressions when I start going into that for the first time. It's so fucking funny. let me see if I can pull it up here. It's so fucking funny. And like I can almost hear Static's expression. I gotta go to, let's see, where my channel. Go to shorts.
I never managed to be able to do any of those high pitched pansy voices like you do. I'm impressed.
It's a talent.
Right.
All right, let's make sure that the volume's up on this. Share screen.
This is the interior monologue, Gal. This is how this works.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little exterior at the moment, but yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much the thing though.
All right. So I don't know if I can make this any larger, but if y'all pay attention to Sasquatch and Gal here.
Now you need to figure out how to talk like Jordan Peterson.
Let's see if I can do this.
Well, to choose precisely the right word.
I don't know. That's probably as good as it's going to get.
That does sound like Marvin the Martian, man.
This is bad, dude. No, it's not bad, bro. It is. It's pretty good. It's pretty spot on for a first try.
Yeah.
I definitely hear Marvin the Martian though, 100%.
Okay, yeah.
Right? Somebody accused me of Kermit the Frog, and I was like, "No, Kermit's more like a hi ho. I'm Kermit the Frog here."
Yeah. That, but the other one was definitely Marvin.
Yeah. I'm going to shoot you with my discombobulator.
Uranium P-37 space discombobulator. Get it right.
Dude, I don't remember all the lines.
Space modulator.
So yeah, no, it's just something fun for trying
Stop
out.
it, Gal.
Normally I do
You're not allowed to
some
be sleepy.
very, very poor impressions. Oh, is she yawning?
Well,
I wasn't
good.
even looking at her. It's fine.
Yeah. No, it's not.
You never
So-
pay attention to me, Sam.
Right?
That's
We were paying attention
true.
before we started. 100% attention.
I couldn't
No
even
doubt.
hold that for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, I was like, that's true. Yeah, I got nothing.
That was a test. You saw me. You pay attention.
Yep.
Yeah, just like a woman with the tests.
Duh.
Yep.
Oh man. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't really do voices, so I'm just lately getting into kind of trying some stuff out like that, and it's been interesting.
Well, if you're not going to be a person on YouTube,
I
you
wish
need
I
to
could
do
do
voices.
Yeah.
I wish I had a better voice because it would help with the animating.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
did you catch Black George Washington this last blast radius?
I didn't.
Dude, hold on. I'm gonna go get it because Captain Curmudgeon knocked it out of the park. That man, oh my, you'll love this. Hold on.
Yeah, I think
It's the best. It's the very best. Everybody says it's the best. I don't know if that they're telling the truth here, but I believe that they are. It's not fake news, not at all. I've been working on my Trump impression. It's not the best in the world, but it could be.
Yeah.
I hate you.
I've been told.
there's some good Trump memes out there at the moment, the AI stuff, and that guy Freedom Toons. I like some of his little cartoons that he's been posting on X.
Yeah.
Good.
Seamus Coughlin. I
Yeah,
think, right?
yeah. That's the guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he does some pretty cool tunes, and like his Jordan Peterson impression is way better than mine.
I like his style. It's kind of cute, but his caricatures are pretty spot on. You can always tell who they are.
As a caveat to this, I want to point out this is our 1 year, our 52nd episode, 1 year anniversary doing the Blast Radius. And we stumbled across, you remember when AI was doing all of the wrong colored historical figures?
Yeah. That was
he happened to be doing some type of work about the when Washington left the presidency, and he gave his farewell address. And when he was trying to get the AI imagery for that, it kept giving him a Black George Washington. And so he rewrote part of it to do as Black George Washington, since he couldn't get any AI imagery. Normal George Washington.
I said George Washington, not George Washington Carver.
Right? So it was such a popular segment in the show that he revisits it several times over the past year, but this is what he did for the 1 year anniversary this past Sunday. And I'm only going to play a few minutes of it. I'm not going to kill the whole joint with it, but just try not to explode. Come on now. I know it sounds like trash.
Just be sitting around the penthouse doing what Black George Washington do, lounging on my big old bearskin rug, sipping some Courvoisier, got fine-ass naked white bitches feeding me grapes and shit, and I get a phone call from my good friend Captain Curmudgeon, and he says to me, Black George Washington, next week is the first anniversary of the Blast Radius, and I got to come up with something special for that.
Dude, I was backstage crying. I was straight up crying. It's a weird thing. The Blast Radius has, strangely enough, picked up something of a Black following for some strange reason, right? I think it's directly a result of Black George Washington. Captain Curmudgeon disagrees with me.
No, it's definitely Black George Washington.
Right? Dude, everybody who's seen it, when they see me, they're like, dude, tell Captain Curmudgeon that's the best bit I've ever heard. It's great. He does that for 15 freaking minutes straight, too, dude.
Oh, man. That made my whole goddamn night.
Right? This is straight 15 minutes of him completely going off the rails as a Black George Washington.
Yeah.
I mean, real hard in the paint.
Yeah, speaking of the new Black-ish emancipator. Hey, Gal, you want to bring that short up?
Never. Just like,
please.
Fine.
Pretty, please.
So, for those of you who didn't catch the debate, there were several things that were said during the course of the debate by both sides, actually, that were not 100% true. But this was one of the most glaring ones.
Well, I will tell you, I agreed with President Biden's decision to pull out of Afghanistan. 4 presidents said they would, and Joe Biden did. And as a result, America's taxpayers are not paying the $300 million a day we were paying for that endless war. And as of today, there is not one member of the United States military who is in active duty in a combat zone in any war zone around the world. The first time this century.
What?
But let's understand.
So where the fuck are we right now?
Caught in 4K, baby.
Wow.
You know, by actual patriots, I might add.
Wow.
Yeah, it doesn't get more you were full of falsehoods than that.
Yeah.
Where are we at?
When she said that, I was just like, she sounded like she was trying to not misstep in anything she was saying. It was very pointed and slow, deliberate, to where she's like, I can't.
Makes her sex life too.
But I was like, do you know how many bases we have around the world and how many of those units have training operations that take place to where they'll go to active zones where there may or may not be a war that we're participating in?
Mm-hmm.
So when she said that, I was like,
Sasquatch, I advise you to stop speaking on this.
I didn't name names. Locations, I guess, is more apropos. Yeah. So shut the fuck up, you stupid cunt. Sorry, Sam.
Why?
Oh yeah. Never mind.
Fuck her.
They're coming to get you.
Yeah, they're coming to get all of us, dude.
I mean,
Eventually,
technically, I didn't name operation names, but I've talked
We've
about.
already had an Indian leader. Perhaps you will get one next.
well, she's black now. Didn't you hear?
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
She won California by being India, but she's going to win the presidency by being black, which is hilarious.
She's like,
Just
well, I'm Jamaican, so I'm black. I was like, well, how come there are Asian Jamaicans then, and white Jamaicans, and yes, there are also black Jamaicans, but I mean, it's like Jamaica's a country full of a bunch of different people. In the same way that Puerto Rico is a country full of a bunch of different people, in the same way that Mexico is a country that's full of a bunch of different people, in the same way that the United States is full of a bunch of different, like, we're not a homogenous hemisphere. The only reason that Haiti is more or less all black is because the black people there killed all the white people and then killed all the mixed people.
Yep.
For good measure. Which is why the Dominicans won't let them on their side of the fence.
Exactly.
You can see from space the difference in
yes, you can. If you look at Haiti, which a lot of people put a whole bunch of this onto the earthquake, and yes, the earthquake was horrendous and it was terrible and it did all kinds of damage and stuff. It also damaged the Dominican Republic.
Mm-hmm.
And it did not have the same meltdown effects that Haiti has had over the past 10 years. Pretty much Clinton showed up in that place and everything went to hell in a bucket.
Indeed.
Indeed. You should probably advise yourself to
right.
stop that.
Yeah, let's just go dark for a minute.
Yeah.
Zero Dark Clinton.
I like that.
Yeah. I'm not like, what's she gonna
Yes, you
do?
are.
Have me killed? Like, it doesn't.
Find me.
Okay.
Well,
I'm not even worth the bullet. I'm just an asshole of the internet. But that does seem to be something of a method operandi.
Hey, they can't even discredit us. There's a disclaimer in every I do that says we're not experts in anything, just people talking. Yeah. Like,
yeah.
Also, yeah. So it's just it is what it is. But there's some shady ass people out there doing some shady ass things, and So this was the thing that they got me during that debate when she started honing in on that whole, like, you know, I think it was the moderators who brought it up, and they're just like, well, President Trump or former President Trump, what do you have to say about saying that, well, she was Indian and now she's black? And he's like, well, she was, and now she is. Like, he's like, I don't care. I just think it's weird. You know? And then she's like, you're a racist. I was like, I don't think he is. I don't think that statement makes him a racist. I think that statement makes him, you know, like the rest of us who are going, what the fuck? Which is it, lady? You know? I was like, if you're mixed, just say that.
Your delusions.
Yeah.
I call myself a mutt all the fucking time because I am.
Mm-hmm.
Good girl.
Most Americans are.
See what you did there, sir.
I'll do it again. First opportunity.
Sit, booby, sit.
Good damn dog.
That's terrible. But yeah, that's the thing. Is like most Americans are, right?
Yep.
In England, it's different, right? When they're getting like this flood of people from foreign lands coming in and taking over and everything, like the native population there is Caucasoid, is Caucasian, right? And not just Caucasian, but like real pale ass Caucasian.
Well,
I use light.
That's frowned upon nowadays.
With light work. That's
It's
why I look
frowned
like
upon to say that nowadays. Like I said, we're not allowed to claim that we're indigenous. You know, you have to say, well, if you're British, it just means if you were born in Britain.
Well, if you're not indigenous, then I can start saying Indians again when I'm talking about First Nations people in Canada.
Yeah, for sure. Well, like I said, if you're British and you were
anybody for engines,
yeah, hell yeah. Look, it is what it is. These are just names, people. By the way, out there, there are people who will lose their shit over just names, just words, right? There are certain words I don't necessarily say because I don't personally like them, but that doesn't mean that I have an issue with someone else saying them because they're just fucking words and they only have the power that we assign to them.
True.
Yep.
And the thing about that is a lot of these identity concepts are so new and radical that they choose to slot themselves away in a given definition and then try their best to exist by the ideals of that definition. And it's such a heavy cognitive dissonance. They end up, if they didn't have brain damage before, they had brain damage soon after because of the severe trauma of the cognitive dissonance of reality versus the ideal.
Dude, I mean, it's getting so bad now where people are just like, oh, well, I'm not this, I'm that. No, you know, it's fine. It's like, okay, you know, your national identity, whatever, is fine. But when people are going around like saying that, like, there are only like 5 fucking skin types in the world. You know, there are shades and varying degrees of each, but there are really only 5 basic skin types in the world in terms of color, kind of thing. And, you know, some of the ones that you would assume are maybe part of one skin type are in fact part of another. They're just on a specific shade on that other spectrum. For instance, Indians from India are Caucasians. They're just really dark Caucasians
and hot.
Yeah. Well, some of them are hot. Some of them are pretty fugly.
Okay, I'll just say it. When they start doing that belly dance,
that's pretty nice.
That's
there are some gorgeous women that come out of India. I'm not gonna lie, but then again, you've got that other spectrum, like the far north up in Scandinavia. Those guys are pale as pale can be. Also Caucasians, you know. So yeah, you get different. Yeah, you get different types of people in the world, but there's only so many different ones. And so when people get hung up on like white or black or yellow or brown, you know,
everyone knows gingers are the true whites.
Well, yeah, but that's I'd agree.
That doesn't matter.
I know, I did, and I missed it by just a second, but here it is, just for you, Kendall.
Oh, fucking ginger!
Fucking racist.
Hey, it's not our fault gingers don't have souls.
We are the true marginalized group, man. Keep saying this.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're the
but
only
listen, we got a
marginalized
small
people.
ginger farm over here in Georgia.
We're openly
Not a
hated by
third or
everyone.
species, I promise you.
Yeah.
Gingercide is
So-
real, people.
I'm telling
Right?
you, you're too light skinned to claim in, like any kind of. It's not going to work, man. Not in the
Well,
modern
that was
world.
that's kind of what I was getting at. I was listening to this interview show the other day. Do you guys know who Daniel Tosh is?
Nope.
He's a stand-up comedian. Used to have a show on Netflix or on Comedy Central called Tosh.0. Yeah. So he's got an interview show on YouTube now, and he interviews the weirdest fucking people, like his personal dog groomer.
When are you going on?
Kind of. I'm not, but I don't think he'd have me on because I don't know him. Like, he's interviewing people who are actually in his life. It's the weirdest fucking thing. So recently he had this chick on who is a snake wrangler outside of Los Angeles, right? High desert kind of stuff, like, you know. Yeah. I know it sounds funny, but like basically she removes venomous animals from under people's houses for a
Dermy's
living.
a snake wrangler.
Dermy is a homosexual. That's a different thing. He's a snake charmer.
He's a trouser snake wrangler.
Yeah. Anyway, what I'm getting at,
just for a second,
just the tip. So what I'm getting at is this chick was on there, right? And, you know, she's covered in tattoos and she's got her hair done back in braids and all that stuff, a bunch of superfluous jewelry. I think her hair was actually green and blue. Not
Worst,
unlike a
worst
certain
colors,
penguin.
worst two colors.
Yeah. Anyhow, and she was talking about her parents, her ancestry, and she was like, well, you know, are you full Italian? And she's like, well, my dad's, my mom's full Italian, but my dad's white. Think about that
Come
statement.
again?
My mom's full Italian, but my dad's white.
Italians consider themselves
So
white.
she's white.
Italians are white.
Yes.
Yeah, she's white. She's Caucasian. Congratulations.
Yeah, she is. Unless she's talking about Sicilian, which has a
Wait,
slightly
hold
different
on.
history than
Joe?
Northern Italy.
Are you keeping snacks in your pants? Did you bring enough for everyone? Oh, for all the world, it looked like you reached out in front of your pants and pulled out some nuts.
I leaned over.
You got nuts in your pants.
Put your hands
My
down
pants
my
are on
pants,
this side.
and
I lean
bet you
this
feel
way.
nuts.
Don't get that
That sounds
stuck in my.
suspicious,
Don't.
Here
You're
we
getting
go.
2 thumbs up. I'm sorry. It's just I couldn't help it. It's just it's one of those things that's been an earworm in my head for like 30 years.
Transfer it, jackass. There's also a cheese
You and me,
ball.
baby.
Stop.
Anyway, so yeah, she's talking about her dad being white, and I was just like, have you seen anybody who's not from Sicily, right? Who's Italian? Because most of them are blonde and blue eyed. It's the Sicilians that tend to be darker, and they tend to be darker because there was a group of very dark men from North Africa called the Moors who tried to fucking breed them out about 800 years ago.
They made a really good try of it too.
Yeah, they did. They changed the
wasn't
face of
amateur.
Sicily and Portugal and parts of Spain and parts of southern France.
They weren't subtle.
No. And when I say breed them out, I mean rape. Lots of it. You know, and unlike American women, they didn't have the option to just like eat that product. So,
Yes, man, in time.
oh, I feel bad laughing that hard after I just said something about rape, but
I have that effect on people.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Is like, so when she's talking about this, there's this really weird, very lefty, let's divide everybody into fucking stupid little categories kind of shit going on, where if you are somehow Mediterranean or olive complected, you're not white. You're special and you're in your own category, which is fucking stupid.
What about Baptists?
Well, Baptists are stupid too.
They're not Baptists. Baptists. The Bath people. Come
What about
on,
the
man.
French.
Yeah,
They're like
I don't know.
it's
Yeah.
Just yell boo, they'll run away.
Yeah. So it's so fucking stupid though. It's like, for the record, by the way, when people talk about Jesus not being white, right? He's from the Levant, so he was clearly darker and all that stuff. I was like, yeah, he was, but he was still fucking Caucasian, like everybody else in the fucking region. The Arabs, the Hebrews, the Chaldeans, all those guys.
Where was
fucking
he from?
Caucasians,
Texas?
Persians. So I don't know if he was in Texas.
Personally, I think
so.
he was redheaded.
I think he was from
Yeah.
Texas originally.
Then he would have been dark too, because there's a lot of sun in Texas, but that doesn't make him not white.
No, but he's like he's got special powers and shit. Maybe he's immune to suntan.
So you think blue-eyed Jesus, huh?
I've seen paintings of him in church, bruv.
Right? That's definitely just as good as an eyewitness account.
Yep, just as good
Okay,
as a
I
photo.
take it, dude. You believe the way you believe, and we'll go down by the river to pray. It'll be fine.
It's a matter of faith, you know.
I hear you. Big F, little f, all the faiths. You add them all together, and you get the results of what? Not a whole lot. Blood, destruction.
Them
death.
artists had a good eye, and they really captured him in his best light.
Had a really good eye for a guy who'd been long gone for about 1,400
Well,
years before they painted him.
You're overthinking it, man. Like,
you know, look, I'm not saying that there weren't certain things done in terms of the imagery and the iconography of Jesus Christ that to lend a certain kind of bent to it. Like the most famous modern depictions of him do look suspiciously like Cesare Borgia, who was the son of a pope. So I mean, you know,
I think he had,
so there is that.
Brown hair. Yeah,
Hey, Kenzo, I'm in the
hair,
Bible
blue
Belt in the
eyes.
South. Overthinking Jesus is exactly what we do.
But he definitely had a ginger beard, you know, like some people with brown hair do. And I think he also had freckles, but they don't often paint them in.
That's the thing, though. Freckles and red pigmentation in hair color also occur in the modern Middle East naturally with Arabs and, you know, Jews and Persians and all that stuff. They have those pigments in their genetic history. You know, so it's not. It wouldn't be unheard of for him to have a ginger beard.
I also think that he was 8 foot tall and had double rows of teeth.
Yeah, and he consumed. How did that line go? He consumed people with fireballs from his eyes and bolts of lightning from his arse.
So you gotta believe the people, man. You can't, like I was saying, you can't believe these people that are the gatekeepers of the truth. They tell us lies.
Right? But you believe iconography painted 800 years.
Artists, the common man, bruv. I'm an artist myself. We tell the truth.
Inside, brother. That's all. Having a good time over here. I was gonna have a good giggle, but I'll pass.
Yeah. You know, the Queen Bird, you might be right. The Vikings kind of got around and they made it to a lot of places. And they usually left some seed behind in those places. So
they made it to the west coast of Scotland from where my family are from.
Dude, they made it to North Africa and the Middle East. You know, also Normandy. Normandy was given to Vikings so that they would stop raiding France.
Yeah.
It's actually named after them, Northmen.
Sam, I gotta head out. I'm gonna go see a movie.
No.
What are you going to see, Gal?
Am I racist?
Yes, you most definitely are.
Yes,
what
you
movie
are.
Are you going to see?
Hold on, let me see.
Yes, you are.
Yes,
the most racist on this panel.
Marty, you need to go.
Are you going to see it just to make sure that you're a racist, or
verification?
You're not sure?
I'm having an identity crisis.
Okay.
I want it to tell me. I need it to.
Affirm.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You need affirmation.
It's true.
She's gotta go figure out which check boxes she falls into.
Yes, precisely. I need to get inside their brains.
Just
Yeah,
don't.
so
Just
she can-
remember, racism is for everyone.
Just what?
Racism is for everybody.
Ah, yes.
Everybody has the right. So it's not just for one race. You know, through hate we love.
Ah, yes. That old age-old adage.
Oh, that said, yeah, well, I think we're coming up on 2 hours here, and we're just gonna keep going off the rails. So we'll probably end it
Sam's
about here
giving
anyway.
up. Sam's giving up, y'all. Hey, Rachel,
Yeah.
Sam's giving up.
Actually, just really have to pee, and I'm hungry. But you know, but that said, you know, Gal, why don't you go first, since you obviously have better things to do than hang out with your friends here? Plug your shit, please.
I don't know. Am I going to be treated like Shadow if I do?
Oh, no, I'm not going to kick you off the panel like I did him.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that's nice.
Don't
Yeah,
try and
better
steal the
asset.
chat.
You can find me
Yeah,
on
Shadow's
all
an
the-
actual racist. He's getting sanctioned.
Valid. Good point. But yes, everybody follow me, green-haired anti-liberal, on all the socials and stuff. Twitter is mostly what I use. And obviously I have my YouTube channel. Cooking the Books changed to Wednesdays. So 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Officially. It's football season. I can't do Thursday. Yeah,
Nice.
but tomorrow doing Phasmophobia on Horny Elf's channel at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time. And that's me.
Sweet. And also because she's reluctant to plug her shit further than like a couple hours out in these days. The next Cooking the Book stream, I believe you're starting into Journey into the West, if I'm correct.
Yes. Sorry. Yeah, I guess I should mention that.
Yes. If you want people to watch it, you should.
The Journey to the West. Yes. I'm going to read it because it's a classic, and obviously I need to jump on some sort of bandwagon for an algorithm thing. Or yeah, I just wanted to read it. I forget my
deal.
spiel. There we go.
Yeah, you
Cooking
you
Book.
you read these books so that we don't have to.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
kind of thing.
The book list in the corner thing.
Yes.
I'm off my game today.
Go watch her show. She reads to you. It's great. You know, and then you can make
Yep.
fun of things like cats in the comments, and it really throws her off her game. It's really fun. Go check it out. Link. Hey, Brown.
Check the description under Sam's. Everybody's links in there.
Yes.
Oh,
Please
yeah.
talk about your link.
Yeah, everybody's
But-
YouTube links are in the description below on my channel. Yes,
Mhm. I don't
Um,
put anything on mine, to be honest.
it's still there.
Yeah, it's still there. I haven't really been uploading, but I have been working on a special animated project that I can't actually say too much about. Yeah, other than me, Cell Shade, and Extra Zero have been working on something for one of the bigger YouTube channels, and it will be coming out soon, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Nice.
We've been doing
Very
some
cool.
of my best. I've been doing some of my best work, and working with Cell Shade, who is lead animator. I've actually learned like a hell of a lot. Like I've had a sort of peek in at his process, and he's been very helpful. And the fellowship has been sleeping on our boy Cell Shade. He's a very, very talented, both 3D animator
Awesome.
and 2D animator.
Yeah, he's been
Yeah.
on Beelzebub like a few times.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
he's seriously a very,
Stuff.
very talented individual, and it's been a pleasure working with him, man. And Extra Zero too. Extra Zero is a good guy. But yeah, you can catch me this week on the Happy Hump Day stream on Wednesday with Mr. Grant Gregory and Rage and Rhino. And then on Friday, I'll be on our regular show, which is the Russian Troll Factory with my great friend Commie Mark, YouTube's favorite communist. I'm sure you all love him.
I've
but
met him
yeah,
a couple times, but I don't know him very
he's
well.
a good,
I don't have an
he's a
issue
good
with
guy.
him.
He's a good guy. But yeah, we'll be over there talking, bullshit, internet drama, comic books, pop culture, all of the normal nonsense. But yeah, catch me over there. It's been good for coming back on here though, Sam. It's only my second appearance, and it's
Honestly,
been good.
Yeah, if you're up for it, you're welcome to come back every week. I don't mind at all. I love having you on.
Oh, nice one. Yeah, it'll be a pleasure to join you guys again, man. It's been good streaming with you again. I think we streamed before Sasquatch. Did you do Beelzebub with us?
Perhaps. I did one on there.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's not bring that up.
I was probably 5, let's be honest.
Yeah, it was first thing in the morning for you too.
I've been smoking since Beelzebub was on this morning. It's now 1 a.m.
There you go.
Oh, fair enough. Man. Fair enough. Yeah, Sasquatch, what do you got coming up?
Okay, so Tuesday I have the Naughty Corner with AJOT. We're gonna look at some cops, and I got some woke folks being cooked by different people. A lot of Charlie Kirk in there, it seems. Whatever. I found a new channel that just came out a little while ago. We're gonna go check out some of their stuff. That's what they do, is like wokies woken themselves. If you get what I mean. I'm gonna drag that in front of AJOT Tuesday, and I really don't have anything else planned. Captain Curmudgeon isn't doing the Black Blast Radius on Sundays for the next few weeks at least, and I don't got anything planned. I'm trying to put something together with Juicy J's Hot Topics to do kind of a geopolitical rapid fire, fast paced news thing, where basically he just drops the line we discuss for 10 seconds and then move on to the next topic, cover like all of the AP or whatever. I don't know. It's still in the drawing phase. We don't know what we're doing with it yet, but probably on Sunday to take place on the Blast Radius.
Yeah. Queen Bird says, got to say the time for the Naughty Corner.
It's 8 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday.
Okay. Good deal. As for myself, obviously this is my channel. We do this show every week where we talk about, well, whatever comes up really. Usually we'll start with some topics if you're new here. We don't usually stay on those topics because we get distracted, and that's why you guys keep coming back, because this is what we do, baby. So, but anyway, there's another show that I do on this channel called Abyssal Musings on Fridays with my partner Lawrence Knight, who is also sometimes on this panel, and we're a little less like current events focused and a little bit more like just the weirdest shit happening, and some pop culture stuff. Also, as of this morning, I was on Beelzebub over on the channel Beelzehub. I'm there every week as well, if I can at all make it, along with Gal and some others. And that's usually a good time because about half of us are dead tired and occasionally have been drinking, and so it usually turns into a fun stream. On Mondays, you can find me on the Renaissance Nerds channel for a show called Mellow Mondays, where we just kind of relaxedly geek out a little bit. And then tonight, here in a little while, you can find me in the chat moderating and also producing behind the scenes for Exiled Lioness 2 as she goes on rant. That show is quite a bit more political, though, than most everything else. So, if that's not your thing, I understand. If it is your thing, come check us out. Other than that, thank you to everybody who came on. Kenzo, as always, it's a fucking pleasure to see you, man. I miss you. Caucasian Sasquatch, I see you all the damn time. Yeah. I see all the damn time, but it's fucking worth it. Same thing with Gal. You guys are some of my favorite fucking people in the world. So I love doing this shit with you guys every week, and it's always a blessing. Even Shadow, I'm glad to know the kid. I really am. And also go check out his shit. His link is in the description below as well. He doesn't upload as often as he used to because he works like 3 fucking jobs, but it is what it is.
That's Biden's America, people. Biden's America.
Yeah. So, well, dude, kid's putting himself through fucking college. So it is what it is. Although I don't think that it's
Shadow. No, sir.
Yeah. No, he's a hardworking kid, very motivated, kind of an asshole, but you know, he's our asshole.
He's
so.
probably like the second prettiest young YouTuber I know behind True Pop. Like, I like him very much.
Dude, we got to get him and True Pop in a room together. Anyhow, yeah, he is. Thank you all for hanging with us in the chat. We really appreciate it. You know, Gal's got to go, so she's saying goodbye as well.
Bye, Gal.
And yeah, it's been a good night, been a good time. Have a great weekend, and remember, it could always be worse. It could be raining flaming cobras. Bye.